guys! It's been a little while, so I thought I'd come on here and read you a quick story. How about that? So, who's ready for a read aloud? I am! So, I'm going to read to you a story from Frog's Rainy Day Story and Other Fables. This is written by Michael James Dowling and illustrated by Sarah Buell Dowling. Now, a fable is a story that's usually going to teach us a lesson. So, we're going to read one of the short stories from Frog's Rainy Day Story and Other Fables. I think we should start with the first one. We have our table of contents that shows us where we can find them. So I'm going to start with the first one. And the first story is Frog's Rainy Day Story. So let's figure out what the story's about. Frog's Rainy Day Story. It was a rainy day. Too rainy for even a frog to go out and play. I'll stay inside and write a story, thought Frog. He took a pen and a piece of paper and started to write, "Once upon a time." Suddenly, Frog saw something strange, very strange. The letters were marching towards the edge of the page. "Stop!" shouted Frog. "I'm using you to write a story." O rolled out front and looked up at Frog. "There's just one problem. We're sick and tired of being used to you. We're merely tools to be bossed around. Stay here and make this word. Go there and make that word." "Yeah," said T, leaning forward in a gruff italic stance. Italics when the letters go sideways. "I'm tired of being told what to do. I want to do my own thing. And I want to feel important for a change," said N. "But you are important," answered Frog. "Without you, I can't write words. We'll have no stories to make us laugh or cry." That's right. If we don't have letters, we can't write words. If we can't write words, we can't write sentences. If we can't write a sentence, we can't write a story. What's he going to do? "That proves our point," said M. "The only thing you care about is these stories. You never say, 'What a wonderful M.'" "Yeah," said U. "The stories get the glory and we letters get the low self-esteem." "And another thing," said A. "Why am I lowercase when O is uppercase? Shouldn't we all be equal? And we should all be rich," added P. "Rich, rich, rich. Fame and fortune, yelled the letters, marching again towards the edge of the page. "Wait," said Frog. "You were created to make words. If you don't make words and stories, what are you going to do?" The letters stopped their marching. They looked at each other in silence. Not one of them had an answer to Frog's question. Finally, Frog spoke. "I've got an idea. If you stay, I'll write a story about you. I'll tell how you wanted to be important, but you realize that you are important when you're doing what you were created to do." The letters huddled together. After a while, O spoke. "Okay, we'll agree to stay, but you'd better not forget to write that story." Frog didn't forget. He wrote the story, and the letters, true to their word, are staying on this page so you can read it. We are made for a much larger story, which we miss when we seek our own glory. What do you think that means? We're made for a much larger story, which we miss when we seek our own glory. You know what I think it means? We're all in this world to help each other in the big picture. We're all here to make it better. But when we only look out for ourselves and we only want what we want and it's me, or I, and we're being selfish, then we miss the bigger picture. Those letters, if they were selfish and they only thought of themselves, we wouldn't be able to read the story because they wouldn't be on the page. But they came together and did their job and what they were made to do to help create this wonderful story so that we can glorify them all together and be like, great, these letters are amazing because these letters helped create this story and helped us to be able to read it. Because if we didn't have letters, we wouldn't have words. If we didn't have words, we wouldn't have sentences. If we didn't have sentences, we wouldn't have stories. So let's listen to the wisdom of the world. It says, it is easy to live for others. Everybody does. I call on you to live for yourselves. Love yourself first and everything falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. But if we listen to the wisdom of the word, and the word means the Bible. The Bible. So we're listening to Jeremiah 29:11. I love this Bible verse. This Bible verse says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. God has a plan for all of us. Just like he has a plan for these letters plan was to make words, to make sentences so that we can read. And here's another one. This is Mark 9:35. Jesus sat down, called the 12 disciples, and said to them, whoever wants to be first must place himself last of all and be the servant of all. So, we want to be first. We have to help others. We can't always think about the world and think about ourselves. We have to think about ourselves, but we also have to think about others at the same time. So what's something that you can do to help someone else out? How can you be the letters and form the words that help tell a story? I hope you enjoyed this fable, and there are other fables, so stay tuned, and I'll get back with another one.